Hello everybody, welcome back to Yunus Cake Tips. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make this very scary animal crocodile. So that will be a sugar figurine, which is you don't need it all the time. I'm sure right after that, watching this video, maybe you may try it, but I don't think you have any kind of request or order or something like this right away, because it is not something like a teddy bear often use. All right. So, but having said that, once you know that I have done this video for you, you can always come back and watch it when you need it. So I have here on the table 3 reference pictures. That is very important because it is look from top view. I can roll my pastellage in a way that as this part, and I can add always the arms and the legs together. It will be quite realistic if I follow that proportion, which is a wonderful picture here. And that shows me that how is the textures on the arms and legs and how is on the side, and then also the shape of the mouth here. And also a lot of color here as a reference I can use. And this is a close-up for the head. As you see over here, there's a big lower jaw here, and then the eyes is puffy and shiny here. There's also the neck is actually some sort of like a bubbled up just behind the jaw. So as you see here, I like to give this special point over here. Give attention to that one. All right. So I have here a corrugated cardboard. I'm going to rest on it to dry, and I will use some cellophane sheets and royal icing to make the teeth. And I will have some egg white here to join probably the arms and legs. All right. And then when I'm doing that in the cellophane cones, I will use sticky tape to secure the end bit. Pastellage is the only thing I will use. I need scissors. I need this too. That is very important. So as you see that this is just a pen, and that's a bit larger, that's a bit smaller. I will give all those little sort of textures on it. I will also use only plastic knife, something like that. You may use something else, but the principle, it will be very, very simple to follow to create really like realistic the skin of the crocodile. Airbrush will be used, and then I have my colors. I don't know how to do it yet. That's why I keep it on the table. I'll show you while I'm doing it. Oil spray always on the table. Water spray always on the table. If I need it or not doesn't matter, but it has to be there. So let me just condition my pastellage and come back to you and show you how to do. As I always said, you remember that you have to condition pastellage. So if you have about 100 gram, you just put into the microwave for 5 seconds. So why is that? 100, 10 off, 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you have 200 gram, maybe 10 seconds. So this is approximate, but it gives you a kind of good start. All right. So once you have the pastellage comes out from the microwave, it is a little bit sticky. You have to give a good knead, and after that also a little bit warm. So you have to touch your here or like this. So make sure that the pastellage kneading, and at the end is cold but still flexible, still sort of like pliable. So that makes the perfect condition for pastellage. Otherwise, it will dry very quickly. It doesn't give you much time to work with. So we're gonna fiddle a little bit because a lot of like texturing on it. So that's why I give a lot of attention. Make the pastellage nice and cold at the same time, nice and flexible. All right, nice and pliable. So everything starts, as I said, from a bowl. You look my hands. This is close. This is flat. So just like a bread roll. So it's connecting here, and then up top is nice and smooth. All right. After that, always work with oil, your hands, your table. And after that, I'm going to use this one as a guidance first. All right. Okay, let's see. That's nice. Let's see how it does look like. That's pretty. So that means we have a bit of sort of like tummy here, right? Like that. And after that, continue straight, and after that, you have a kind of neck sort of quite sort of this size neck here, and after that the head. So somewhere around there, and we can cut this now. Maybe there. Yes. So do not rush, but don't take too much time. Okay. Always use some oil, that avoiding that getting too dry. All right. So that's the head, the nose, pretty good, and that's the tummy. That's the tail. All right. So I like to do first of all make sure that this is quite oily, so it doesn't get really dry. All right. Get this straight. All right. Get this straight like that, and after that we're gonna have one line in the center. So that is lots of lines on it, but I'm gonna make only triple. So line starts from here. So I imagine one center line over here, and I go left, slightly left, very careful. Make a deep impression here. All right, like that. First a little bit, then you go further. So that is the center part. All right. Automatically, I have here sort of like a one pinching area. Then I'm going to go one more time here on the side. One more pinch. Not pinch, just line. All right. Line. And after that, I go one more time here. So as you see that I have three upwards, and I have this 1, 2, 3, 4 inwards. All right. So once this happened, this one, I'm going to use this sharp part here, and then just go some lines on it. Make sure it doesn't dry. All right. Towards the tail, I go a little bit smaller. All right. All right. Now, that is already looking okay, but I have the pinching. So every single sort of extension up, I give a small pinch like this. And then I go for like maybe 2 hands, it's faster. And then a little bit also here, okay? Doesn't have to go everywhere, but sort of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines appeared. And then make sure that tail also nice, one center pinch in here. All right, so that will be turning about like this. All right, I'll just give a bit of motion here. Now is the time for the mouth. All right, so I go with the knife halfway like that, quite deep. All right, after that lifting up like this, and then pinching also on the side. You make sure that the sides are sharp. Just watch where I'm pinching. Okay. Wonderful. Normally the crocodile mouth, as you see, like a lot of curve here. So I just use a piece of cardboard. That's the laughing sort of like up here, and then here and there. Look at that, this shape. I open up, put this in the mouth, go sort of upwards, and then let this one rest here. Okay, I have to play a little bit, didn't like it much. Okay, here's like this, that's correct. Here's like that, that's correct. Okay, the lower jaw is more stronger, something like this. Okay, and then put it back this one, keep the mouth open. All right, so far so good. We have a mouth open, it's like a a laughing kind of thing. It's not laughing, but it's just it's all look like laughing. All right, I will do that, and then everything is easy because we can add always the eye sockets later on. All right, no problem. So that's already done. Now I'm going to use this one, the pen with a bigger hole, and that's a little bit smaller one. So I'm going to use the big ones more on the top. All right. You don't have to be like too organized. Don't take too much time. Just push, push, push. And then just go around the eyes. We're going to put more around the eyes here. And then go on the side. Right, now we can do a little bit small one. Just give it like good texture on it. Also around the mouth. We can give a little bit more deeper lines here to make it nicer. Alright, it looks quite interesting. This one I like to put a little bit more. Alright, so I'm going to now start thinking about how do I make the arms and legs. So the front legs was about 5 grams each. So I cut 10 grams and cut in half. So I know exactly when I finish the one side, another side is already, my portion is ready. And the back leg is around 7 grams each, so 14 grams cut in 2. So already done one side. Please watch this, pay attention how I do that. That's very simple. You can't go much wrong with it because it's not really flat surface, just a lot of texture on the thing. As long as you do something similar, you'll be alright, right? So that's the front leg, something like that. And after that, I bend it like this. I also give a bit of like movement like this when I'm putting on. It look nice, all right. And then the hand is also. I will cut it now. Watch this. So 1, 2, 3, and 5. So give a little bit of sharper end bit, and then use a pen and push it in. Like this. So you have also the sharp bits ready. All right, now like that. Now at the same time, I use a larger circle on the top, like that, and after that, thinner ones, smaller ones around of it, just a little bit. Don't have to do much at the moment. All right, and after that, egg white here, right location, egg white there, and after that, put it on. All right. Sort of like organize a little bit. All right, and once you put this one there, use your pen to glue it. Push it again. At the same time, you're creating a bit of texture, right? All right. Open up. Like that. That's it. Now I'll do the back leg. Always a little bit. This time, this is a little bit larger. So as you see here, it's like turning like that. After that, turning like that. And then the hands is ready, push down. So we can cut the, it will be something like this, all right? Like whites. Right here, and the glue. that's it. I'm not going to push any more pressure on the head because there's still the eyeballs to go. There's a kind of like a these parts are very, very important on the crocodile. It's to be that's very characteristic, and also like there is a tongue to do in the center, in the mouth, and I will do this one all after a few hours. I'll let this one dry for a while. I said few hours, but it's actually past about 5 hours plus. So I can hold it like this, and then just make sure that you can sort of like lift up a little bit, but hold gently and use more parts to hold. Like you see, I'm holding here, holding there, and everywhere. I'm not just holding with 2 fingers. So it helping that is actually balancing the weight. So outside is quite skin. That is actually what's holding that strength, but underneath is still a bit soft. So it's better to leave it overnight. I like to continue my work adding the eyes and the tongue. For small amount pastillage, you don't have to put it into the microwave because it's easily your body temperature will be enough to make the pastillage soft, just like this. Okay, I like to get a little bit of moisture, egg white, where I'm going to put the ice, here and there, all right, and then just a little bit in the mouth for the tongue. All right, let's do it like this. One portion, another portion, something like that. So I'm just going to cut it half. Make sure like a diamond shape. I'm going to a bit exaggerate that part because it's a very important part of the what do you call, crocodile. So where is it? As I see it over here, where the jaw here, where the lower jaw here, in between that area, which is comes about here. All right. Okay, put the other one. Make sure it's symmetrical. And I use that small pen. Just go around. Actually, I use large one here at the moment. Just go around one circle. And after that, use smaller one. I'm just mixing up. Oh, that's the one, small one here. And then just put more round indentations. The eyes sort of like a glue together with the body. All right. Once it's finished, I'm going to use this one and then sort of like a pocket inside, halfway through, move a little bit back and forward. That's the eye will be. All right. Like that. I think I have to put a little bit more pressure here to make it a bit more sort of like a joining together with the body. All right. Should be enough. There's a tongue. There's quite a big tongue here. Like that. Nice and level. Alright, now next thing is we start our airbrushing. For the airbrushing, I always mix my colors earlier. So first of all, you look at the picture and identify how many colors you need to airbrush. So what I can see over here is a kind of like a egg yolk tone for the overall the body. And after that, I have a sort of like a gray, but sort of dirty greenish gray. But if I airbrush the whole body with the egg yolk yellow lightly, that gray or sort of like greenish black I airbrush on top, it will filter itself with the yellow at the same time, and then two colors will match together nicely. Then I have the last color is the pink. I will just spray a little bit in the mouth, inside the mouth. And also what we have here in Crocodile, what we have to identify, there's a lines like a tiger. All right, so I will also achieve that with the airbrush first, and after that I'm going to add some dots on the side, some areas. We don't have to be so realistic. At the end of the day, this is just a figurine that it goes on the cake, so we do our best to make it as good as possible. And I always try those colors with the cotton tips. I dip it in and just go like this. When you're doing that, you're actually using the color. It becomes lighter and lighter. You can see different tones. It will be a very good way to do it. All right. So yellow first. Always try on a paper first. Okay. Okay, that's done. We can put right away the next color, no problem. So overall, on top, a bit more closer. Okay, then after that, I like to do that tiger-like look. Okay. All right, not bad. So now I like to do some dots on certain areas using the same color. Make those lines a bit more distinguished. Last thing I like to do now, before I carry on with the details, I want to get a wet sponge and clean up the very top parts a little bit. I can see that there's some white spots on that spiky bits. This is what I will do now. So I have my wet sponge. I just go over it like this. You see that this light colors comes out. Eyes. That makes it a bit more sort of like interesting. All right. Okay, that should be there. And we have to get a little bit more pink color in the mouth. All right. I already washed my airbrush, which you have to do it also. That's good. I'm not referring to this. More I'm referring to this picture. There's a bit of pink color inside. That should be enough, not too much. All right, good. So we are done with the airbrushing. I have to do now the eyes. Eyes pretty much one big black, including surroundings. Sort of like this, and I like to give a little bit more white line on the top, which is, as you see over here, there's a white line. That should be alright. What's happening now, after sometimes I'm going to take a craft knife and I just take it off 2 little bits on the black part of the eye. It represents the shine. Alright. So now what we have to do, I'm going to whip my relaxing a little bit more stiff, and I put it into the little cone, and I'm coming back to you when I'm doing the teeth. Now I'm going to pipe the teeth. We have to observe the reference picture nicely. I can see that small teeth, follow with large ones, and then small, and then large again. It's a couple of times, just like repeating. And then wherever is the upper part is a small teeth, at the lower part is a large teeth. So I'm going to do that as good as possible. So at the same time, what I like to do, I'm going to place these little white dots for shine on the eyes. Instead of using craft knife, I'm going to use white royal icing. Just one dot here, and then one small dot behind. That's it. And also here, one dot here, and one small dot behind. So if you like, after a little bit dry, you can touch also with finger to make it a bit more flatter. All right, now let's start. Some small teeth here. Small, 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 and some large ones here now again. And the funny thing is that there's quite a bit of distance in between each teeth. That's it. So, and then, as I said, just touch these ones, make it a bit more flatter. That's it. I think it's ready now. I'm gonna let it dry. If you like to have a bit of shine for like a wetness, because the crocodile just come out from the water as if, that you can put some compaction regulators on top. So I think if you're looking for like boys' birthday cakes, and then they also love reptiles more than the girls, of course. So and also, like, when you do something like this, it is not finished yet, because when you putting on the cake, you have to also create some environment. For example, like you can put a river on the base, and you can put some like a sandy, rocky or bushy area on the side, like the land meeting with the water, and then give some airbrush on the water surface. You can create a lot of things to get this more sort of like a striking out of the surface. All right, so that is all from me, guys, today. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you all. Until to my next video. Bye for now.